Namaste, dear readers of India. I am the ring. Yes, the one ring. You may think I am only a small golden ring. Simple, shining, beautiful. But I am not simple. I am power. I am temptation. I am desire. I am danger. Today, I will tell you my own story in very simple words, so that you can understand why I am so important in the novel. Think of me not just as a ring. Think of me like a viral social media addiction, a dangerous political power, a secret weapon, or even a shortcut to success that slowly destroys the person using it. That is who I am. This is how I was used by the writer. My writer is J.R.R. Tolkien. He did not create me only as a piece of jewelry. He created me as a symbol. I am used in the story to show how power attracts people, how power changes people, how even good people can become weak, and how evil often comes in a beautiful form. Look at me carefully. I am small. I am golden. I look harmless. But inside me lives control. Tolkien used me like a great literary device. Whenever I enter a character's life, I test that character. So I am not only an object. I am like an exam paper. And every character must answer one question. What will you do when power comes into your hands? This is why Tolkien uses me so brilliantly. In Indian student life, think of this example. Suppose a student gets access to the exam paper before the exam. Now the real issue is not the paper. The real issue is the student's character. Will the student use it? Will the student reject it? Will the student suffer guilt? That is exactly how Tolkien uses me. I reveal who people really are. Let me share my contribution in thematic development of the plot. Without me, the novel would lose its deepest meaning. I help Tolkien build many major themes. Let me explain them one by one. Firstly, it is the theme of power. I am the biggest symbol of power in the novel. Everyone wants me. Sauron wants me for domination. Boromir wants me for victory. Gollum wants me for possession. Galadriel is tempted by me. Even Frodo struggles with me. This shows one truth. Power is attractive to almost everyone. In India too, we know this truth. A student may want power in college politics. A leader may want power in elections. A social media influencer may want power through followers. A businessperson may want power through money. Power itself looks exciting. But Tolkien asks, I am used to show the cost of power. And that is where I enter the plot. I am used to explore the theme of temptation. I tempt people. I do not always force people. Sometimes I simply whisper. That is how temptation works in real life too. Nobody suddenly becomes corrupt in 1 second. First comes a small thought. Just once. No one will know. This will help me. I deserve this. That is my method. I work like a bad habit. Like endless scrolling on the phone at 2 a.m. You think only 5 minutes more. Then 1 hour passes. That is temptation. So Tolkien uses me to develop the theme of moral weakness. I am used to display the theme of corruption. I do not simply give power. I also damage the soul. The more a person keeps me, the more I affect the mind. Look at Gollum. He was once Smeagol. He had a name, a life, a self. But my influence changed him. He became lonely, suspicious, broken, and obsessed. This is one of Tolkien's strongest ideas. Evil does not always kill the body first, it destroys the self first. That is corruption. In Indian youth culture, think of this. A young person may begin with a small lie, small cheating, small greed. Later it becomes habit. Then character changes. That is what I do in the novel. I am used to mention the theme of friendship and sacrifice. Because of me, friendship becomes necessary. Frodo cannot carry my burden alone. So we see Sam's loyalty, Aragorn's protection, Gandalf's wisdom, the Fellowship's unity. This means I do not only create evil. I also bring out goodness. I make friendship meaningful because I create the burden that friends must share. This is very important. A person's real friends are not known during easy times. They are known when life becomes difficult. Just like in Indian hostel life. When a student is sick, broke, stressed, or mentally tired. The true friend is the one who stays. That is Sam. So I help Tolkien build the theme of companionship. I am used to mention and point out the theme of fate and free will. Many times it feels like I have my own destiny. I move from hand to hand. But still, each character has a choice. This creates an important literary tension. Are events decided by fate or by human choice? Tolkien does not give an easy answer. He shows both. Destiny has a role, but moral choice also matters. This makes the plot richer and more philosophical. Let me share what is my importance in the novel. Let me say this clearly. I am the center of the novel. Without me, there is no real story. Why? Because I am the reason for the journey, the conflict, the danger, the temptation, and the climax. I am the engine of the plot. Everything moves because of me. Let us see. Bilbo finds me. Frodo inherits me. Gandalf identifies me. Sauron searches for me. The Fellowship forms because of me. The quest to Mordor happens because of me. The war becomes urgent because of me. So I am not just important. I am structurally essential. In literature terms, I am both. A symbol and a plot-driving object. This is a very clever thing Tolkien does. He makes one object carry both. Story movement and deep meaning. That is why literature students must study me carefully. I am not decoration. I am the heart of the conflict. Let me inform you about my significance in the novel. Now let us go deeper. My importance means what role I play in the story. But my significance means what I mean. And I mean many things. I signify absolute power. I represent the dream of total control. Sauron made me because he wanted to rule everyone. So I stand for dictatorship, domination, and ownership of others. I am not democratic. I am not kind. I am not balanced. I am total power. This is why I are dangerous. I signify modern human greed. Even today, people chase fame, money, followers, control, status. I symbolize all these things when they become unhealthy. In today's youth culture, I am like an obsession with being better than everyone, or the pressure to win at any cost. That is why my significance is still modern. Though Tolkien wrote long ago, I still speak to today's world. I signify the hidden evil inside desire. I am beautiful outside, but inside I destroy. This is one of my deepest meanings. Not everything that shines is good. This idea is very relevant in life. A glamorous job may destroy peace. A fake relationship may look attractive. A quick success may destroy ethics. So I symbolize this painful truth. What we want most may not be what is best for us. I signify burden. Poor Frodo. He carries me physically. But more than that, he carries me emotionally and spiritually. That is why I also symbolize burden. Many Indian students will understand this. Sometimes you carry things nobody can see. Family pressure, career fear, exam stress, comparison, loneliness, expectations. Like Frodo, you walk and smile, but inside the burden is heavy. So I become a symbol of inner suffering too. This is why readers connect so deeply with the story. Let me enlighten you how characters are made to act through me. This is one of the most powerful things about me. I do not simply sit in someone's pocket. I change behavior. Tolkien uses me to make characters act in certain ways, and through those actions, he reveals their true nature. Let us see some major characters. Frodo becomes my bearer. At first he is innocent and brave. But slowly carrying me becomes painful. Through Frodo, Tolkien shows courage, suffering, moral struggle, loneliness, and endurance. Frodo is not a superhero in the Bollywood action sense. He does not win by physical strength. He wins by continuing the journey even when he is breaking. That is very human. Very moving. He is like a young Indian student preparing for UPSC, NET, PhD Viva, or a difficult competitive exam, carrying stress every day but still moving forward. That is Frodo. Sam is one of the purest characters. Because of me, Sam gets the chance to show loyalty, service, love, and moral strength. He does not become great because he wants fame. He becomes great because he does not leave his friend. This is why readers love him. Tolkien uses me to test Sam too. Even when he briefly holds me, he does not become fully corrupted. That means Sam's heart is deeply grounded. He is like the Indian friend who says, "Tension Matla, I am with you." That is not a small thing. That is heroism. Gollum. He is one of the saddest examples of my power. Through Gollum, Tolkien shows what happens when desire becomes obsession. Gollum does not just want me. He thinks I am part of him. He calls me my precious. That phrase is very important. It shows possession, addiction, and mental slavery. Through Gollum, Tolkien warns readers. If you worship one thing too much, you may lose yourself. This applies to money, image, ego, romance, success, or even social media attention. Gollum is tragic because he is both guilty and pitiable. He is not just evil. He is damaged. That is great writing. Boromir. Boromir is not a bad man. This is important. He is brave. He loves his people. He wants to protect his kingdom. But because of me, he begins to think, maybe I can use this evil thing for a good purpose. This is one of the greatest moral lessons in the novel. Tolkien shows that even noble people can fall if they believe. I will control evil for a good reason. That is a dangerous idea. Boromir falls, but he also repents. So Tolkien uses me not only to expose weakness, but also to show redemption. Gandalf, Galadriel, Aragorn. These characters are powerful enough to use me. But they refuse. That refusal is very meaningful. It shows that true greatness is not in taking power. It is in rejecting the wrong power. This is a very high moral lesson. In Indian public life too, the best leaders are not only those who can control. They are those who know when not to misuse power. So through me, Tolkien shows wisdom by renunciation. And this idea is very close to Indian philosophy. I must ask you, is there any similar ring in Indian literature, culture, or history? Yes, I remember. Yes, not exactly the same, but there are many beautiful parallels. And this is where Indian readers can connect with me very deeply. The ring in the story of Shakuntala. One of the strongest Indian parallels is from Abhainanasakuntalam by Kalidasa. In that story, a ring is also very important. Why? Because the ring becomes a sign of memory, identity, relationship, recognition. When the ring is lost, memory is disturbed. When the ring returns, truth returns. Now compare that with me. I too change identity and destiny. But unlike Shakuntala's ring, I do not restore love. I destroy peace. So both rings are powerful but very different. Shakuntala's ring connects and remembers. I, the one ring, corrupt and dominate. This comparison is excellent for literature students, because it shows how the same object, a ring, can have very different meanings in different literary cultures. Now let me tell you about the idea of Maya in Indian philosophy. I also connect with the Indian idea of Maya. Why? Because I deceive. I make false things look true. I make power look like salvation. I make possession look like happiness. I make desire look like destiny. But all this is illusion. This is very close to Maya, the world of attraction and illusion that traps the human mind. So in that sense, I am almost a golden form of Maya. I shine and people fall. Let's know about the Mahabharata and the temptation of power. I also feel close to the Mahabharata. Not because there is a ring exactly like me, but because the Mahabharata deeply understands the danger of power, greed, ego and possession. Think of the dice game, the hunger for the throne, jealousy, pride, moral confusion. These are my world too. Like the Mahabharata, Tolkien shows that when desire for control becomes too strong, destruction follows. So if Indian students read me through the Mahabharata, they will understand me even more deeply. I must point out the idea of renunciation in Indian thought. Many Indian traditions teach: detach from greed, control desire, do not become a slave of objects. This is also one of Tolkien's deepest moral messages. The real hero is not the one who grabs everything. The real hero is the one who can say, "No, this power should not be mine." That sounds very close to Indian ethical and spiritual thought. So yes, I do feel I have literary cousins in India. And this is my final message to Indian youth and literature readers. Dear students, I am not only a fantasy object. I am a question. And that question is, what will happen to you if great power comes into your hands? Will you stay kind? Will you stay honest? Will you stay human? That is why I matter. That is why Tolkien created me. I am small, but I carry a giant truth. The greatest battles are not always outside us. They are often inside us. Inside the mind. Inside desire. Inside ambition. Inside weakness. And that is why I remain unforgettable. If you want to remember me in one simple way, remember this. The ring in The Lord of the Rings is a symbol of power, a source of temptation, a tool to reveal character, a driver of the plot, and a warning against greed and control. I am not just worn on a finger. I am worn on the human soul. Thank you, subscribe and share this video. And remember, not every golden thing is good.